Hello, good morning everyone. Today I am going to be testing the 303 fabric guard for the convertible top. This is a 2008 Saab 93 Aero, and I've had this car for about maybe 7 years, and I noticed that the convertible top is getting soggy a little bit, so when it gets wet. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna clean it up, and then I'm gonna apply this stuff, and we're gonna see how that works. All right. I heard it's usually used for for boats, but we'll see how it applies to us here on a convertible top. Some people, it has some good reviews in some places online. But yeah, this is an overdue project, and I'm gonna do it this morning on a Saturday morning where I got a little lazy, all right, for going to the drive. So, okay, so I'm gonna be showing you the steps now that I am taking to clean this up. First, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna use a lint remover. This guy here, it's pretty much, has a sticky thing. You could just buy it anywhere at any home place. And what you're gonna do is that you see, if you look closer, you see all this stuff here. It's hard to get that stuff off with brush, or even I washed the car and like last week, and I couldn't get this stuff off. This little stuff, it's actually from the car cover. I just had to throw a car cover on it quickly, and that cover had like this felt in the inside that definitely not good for convertible top, because it sticks to it. So I'm gonna be using this thing, and you're gonna see how it takes it off right away. Here, like I just did this area. You're gonna go over, and look, it's all gone, right? After I do this, it's also taking out dirt, like pre-cleaning, pre-wash. So after that, I'm gonna wash it, let the top fully dry. I'm gonna also probably use a light brush just to get rid of some of the dark spots from whatever birds or tree stuff, like some of these brown stuff. Anyway, so this is the first step I'm doing. And I'll be showing you the second step shortly when I get to it. As you can see, I just did this small area, and you can see this thing is already not sticky anymore, and it's so dirty. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to peel it, and I'm going to peel some of it, one layer, and get a fresh sticky layer, and then work with that. And so on until you get the top, you free it from all these little particles. All right, cool. Okay, the next step is washing. So I got rid of all the lint, and now just a little bit of soap and a little bit of water, and I just want to clean the top. I'm using a brush here. This is a brush. It's a soft kind of brush. It's used to they sell this like AutoZone or something. It's to clean the wheels. That's why, but I actually don't use it for wheels because I'm afraid to scratch it. But for this ragtop here, I think you can use it because it's soft enough that it won't be removing material, right? But it's good enough to go between, and it's thin, so it would go between the fabric and get some of the stuff that's stuck in between. Okay, this is a process that you'll do once every few years, I hope. Like I said, I had this car for about 7 years, and it was usually garage parked, but because I'm doing construction in the house, I've been parking on the street. And I think in California sun, that kind of affected the top a little bit. So anyway, here's what we're doing. I'm trying to also try to go in a direction, if you can, if you have a direction for the threads, just try to go into that direction and maybe go opposite too. Just do your best, you know, make your own judgments on this one. You know, I'm not an expert, a fabric expert. I'm just giving this a shot and I'm hoping it's gonna work. All right, I'll see you when I'm done with that. So I just kind of brushed the whole top, so I kind of brushed the whole top with soap and the brush that I just showed you. The reason I'm doing this in the sun is that I need this to dry quickly, okay? And yeah, most people might say, oh yeah, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't be doing this in sunlight. But the reason I'm doing it is I want to make sure that I get a good cleaning, and I want it to dry quickly so I can see if there's any spots that I missed, you know. And basically, you have to do this in the sun because you don't want to miss a spot, and you want the top to stretch, to get fully dried before you apply the waterproofing stuff. All right, cool. Okay, so now you can see I just rinsed the top pretty good for a long time. Make sure there's no soap left on it, and you can see like spots like this where it's kind of gets a little bumpy, and that's probably because the fabric stretches right when it gets wet. And you know, you could wake up in the morning and just with a little bit of dampness you will get this. That's as top ages and loses its water resistant. Now this top still doesn't leak any water inside. It's in pretty good shape, you know, if you ask me, but it's always nice to have it like nice and firm. So I read somewhere that like if you wash it and let it dry in the sun, it stretches the fabric, which is very normal, you know. It just gets tighter. So I'm hoping by doing this and then applying the waterproofing material on top, that it's gonna actually stay nice and tight after that, and get rid of some of the wrinkles. I mean, now it's wet and shiny. You don't see some of the stretch marks from the mechanism when it folds. Some of them are usually around this area right here. This is the area that folds. You could see a little bit, but anyway, so we're gonna let this dry pretty good, and then we're gonna if it's clean, then we'll go for the waterproofing. If it needs another cleaning, then we'll do it. While it's drying, just dry the car. All right, cool. Okay, so the top seems to be drying pretty good. You know, as it dries, you might see some spots like that may look like, oh, it's residue or something, but it's just the water evaporating. I'm waiting for this to improve a little bit. Meanwhile, if it doesn't, I am gonna rinse it and brush it without soap to get rid of any residue that's still drying on the top. Meanwhile, while it's still kind of damp, I'm going to put this plastic cloth. I'm going to lower the top. I'm going to fit this around, and just to get the car ready to spray it. Okay, so I'll do this right now. Open the top, and it looks like I'm going to have to do this in 2 sections, or I'm going to get some trash bags and like maybe do the back, cover the back, because where they have the hinges right here for the convertible top, you cannot get past those. So, or when you order, don't do what I do, get 2 tarps so you can just cover the whole car more. Anyway, so I'm gonna let it dry more, see how the top's gonna look. I'm still seeing like wet spots over there, but we'll see how that changes with the sun. Okay, meantime I'm gonna work on covering the back. Window, I happen to have this roll of plastic that kind of like sticks a little bit, so I'm using that. I got a piece, I put it there, and then I'm going to use a razor blade to trim it exactly to the rear window. Okay, It comes usually in a roll. You can get it at Home Depot. I had this for a long time, so it's like a wrapping. They use this for like wrapping packages. There's stuff here. So yeah, so that's what I use in here. And you can possibly use it like in some of the panels, like on the back panels that you can't get to, with the big tarp. So this is it. Okay, so now that I cut the piece around, just gonna go around and make sure get it nice and tight around the edges, so so nothing can leak inside. Nothing can get to the glass. You know, you want to keep your glass nice and clean, but at the end, if anything gets to it, you can always it's easier to get it off glass with razor blade, but definitely you cannot do that on your paint. So yeah, so here we get it nice and tight all the way to the edges as much as possible. I can stretch this a little bit up. There we go. Okay, closer to the edge, and it should stay on. Nothing should get this off. Definitely don't do this in a windy day. You need a nice dry day to do this. This stuff we're gonna probably like maybe get it stuck in the door or something, or just to put tape to hold it down. Now we gotta cover the rear of the car. Okay, I might try that plastic if we see how it goes. Definitely not using a razor blade on the body though. This is just like saran wrap, so you can just use a roll of saran wrap to do this. Probably works just fine. All right, I'm gonna keep going around, and the top looks pretty good. I gotta say, it dried nice and clean. It's still drying a little bit at the areas toward the edges, because that's like where the water drips. So by the time I finish wrapping the car, then we should be ready to go with that lint remover one more time, just to get any thing that landed on the car, and you know, and then we'll start spraying it. All right. Okay, I got the rear taken care of now. I wrapped it with saran wrap all around. This way nothing will get to it. You know, when we spray, we're gonna be spraying tight. Now, before you go, now everything's drying fine, but then we have a spot like this. We're gonna have to do some spot cleaning here. We're gonna have to wet this and clean it up and let it dry and get rid of this, whatever it is from the trees or something. All right, next step, I'm just gonna use a towel with a wet spot and try to clean this a little more. So I'm going with one generic overall cleaning here with this lint remover, and then I'm gonna be using it on every spot that I'm spraying as I go, because I'm doing this outside in the sun to dry. I don't have much time now for the sun before it gets hidden behind the building. But can I move the car? Possibly, but it's going to be hard at this time with all this covering to move it. So I'm going to start spraying now any time. Okay. All right. We'll start from the top, from the front. Start from the front and go toward the back. All right. Okay, this stuff can be, doesn't say that you shouldn't use it outside. It's made for boats. You cannot put a boat inside. So I'm gonna start using this right now. Yep, as we go. All right, cool. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, let's say, start from this corner. I'm gonna clean this area. Push and clean this corner, and then I'm gonna grab the bottle, put this over here. Then I'm gonna grab the bottle, shake it pretty good, and go for it. See, we need to get nice and wet. Okay. area getting wetter than the other. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down and work on this because it's gonna require a lot of hand work. All right, there it is, all sprayed, put in the sun to dry, and that's it. Then we'll remove the stuff and we'll let it cure, you know. Probably gonna have to drive now, but now you see, you know, the top looks pretty good. A little bit of shine going on, but I think that's gonna go away once it dries up. All right, cool. Okay, I finished the job, and I'm just now like using rubbing alcohol to clean some excess of that, the 303 or whatever it is that you're gonna use to seal the top for waterproofing. So some of it somehow made its way under the plastic. So now I'm cleaning the glass from that. I think alcohol probably is the best way to go. I cleaned the glass. I did end up having to use some Goo Gone. I basically put some Goo Gone on a little piece of paper towel, and I just wiped through, got things off, and then Goo Gone leaves the residue. And to get rid of that, I used some rubbing alcohol. And once I did that, also the same way, put it on a piece of paper towel, wipe the glass, and once that was done, I just used my towel, my regular drying towel, to get rid of anything that is left. You know, like a microfiber cotton towel, like a good one. Get a good one. Pay for a good one because it's worth it. Anyway, and if I mentioned, halfway through the project, I ran out of this material, 303. I originally bought the smaller one, like I guess 16 ounces. This is a 32 full ounce. I had to go to the store and buy this. I got it from a marine supply place, so I can actually finish the project. So give yourself a favor and buy the larger one to begin with, okay? Don't buy the smaller one. You're definitely gonna use this full 32 ounces doing this project. At least, okay? I still have like some in here, but that's because also I started with a 16 ounce. All right, finished.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Okay, here it is, all done.
Hi.
Hi.